Adam, you've had the Titan wall-mounted pull-up bar for like 2 years now, right?
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah. So what do you like about it?
Yeah, when it comes to wall-mounted pull-up bars, the designs are all pretty simple. It's very sturdy, and the price point is great. Right now I think it's like $75 for this pull-up bar.
What do you think about this compared to others?
Yeah, I have to say, this one compared to others, it gives you a lot of space to work. So the pull-up bar, I think, is like 52 inches. And then the wall clearance, it has some of the biggest wall clearance. What I mean by wall clearance is like where you're doing your pull-ups from, like how far out you are to like the wall that it's mounted on. It gives you a ton of wall clearance. And so with those two things, all the space it gives you, it's also one of the cheapest ones out there. So to spend very little on something that I think has better specs than some of the other ones is a win-win.
And just specifically, you've used the Rogue P4 that I used to have. How would you say that compares?
Yeah, in comparison to the P4, it's built very similarly. So I know that this one is cheaper and built pretty much the same. But again, this one has that bigger wall clearance, so you have more space away from the wall. So with that, I'd rather spend less money and have more space.
Why would someone get this and not just do pull-ups on the rack?
Yeah, that's a good question. I honestly prefer having a designated pull-up station for a couple reasons. One, I like to get out of the rack to do some work, and so I like having a pull-up bar away from the rack. If you're up on a rack doing pull-ups, even if you're doing strict pull-ups, if you have 4-post, even a 6-post rack, there's going to be some wobble. And I say that doing pull-ups on a 2x2 as well as a 3x3 rack with weight storage and everything, it still wobbles. And so a wall-mounted pull-up bar is not going to wobble at all. I feel so much more stability on it, and 52 inches across is just a wider pull-up bar. I really prefer this rather than jumping up on a rack.
Got it. I'm a big fan of having a dedicated pull-up bar station too. Nevertheless, installation may be an intimidating factor for some people. Can you share some installation tips or hacks, or just give a quick rundown of what that entails?
Yeah, good question. Very first time I installed this, this one's very simple. You line it up on your studs, and there are 3 lag bolts. So the very first time I installed it directly into the drywall. Not into the drywall. There's a stud behind there, but with a drywall backing. And I was using it, and there was some noises, some creaking going on, and it didn't feel very sturdy. And so what I ended up doing is I got 1x4 pieces of pine board. I ran the pine right along the studs, bolted the pine to my wall. I had then bolted the pull-up bar to the pine boards. And that made it feel much sturdier, and all the noises and creaking went away and has been gone now for 3 years. Everyone do that, whether you get this model or any other one.
On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate the installation difficulty for something like this?
No, like 2 or 3. It's simple. Yeah, get yourself a stud finder. Make sure you are lined up on either side, and yeah, it's very simple. One thing that did throw me through a loop the first time I did install it is the actual pull-up bar slides in your L brackets, so the brackets that hang off the wall, and only one side has a hole in it that gets bolted down. The other side just gets pinched by a bolt on the other side. I was looking for a hole. I thought they didn't include it, but that's so you could, if your studs aren't exactly where they need to be, you can make it shorter or a bit longer.
Well, you really haven't said too much negative about this. So would you say you recommend this to others, though? Yeah,
I'd absolutely recommend this. There's not too much negative you can say. I guess maybe the actual pull-up bar has some texture to it. I mean, knurled would be awesome, but that'd be like a lot of money for, something like that. So it can be a little slippery. Just chalk up your hands. It's fine. It's such a simple design. Like I said, I think it's under $75 right now. It's the cheapest one out there. Gives you a ton of wall clearance. It's great. I'd recommend it to anyone looking for a wall-mounted pull-up bar.
Awesome. Are there any, just doing pull-ups and having the pull-up bar may get a little boring. Is there anything that you may add to it that would add some versatility? Maybe some fat grips or something like that?
Yeah, you could throw fat grips up there. There's also a version that comes with Olympic rings. And so if you don't have rings, they have a combo version. It's the Titan wall mounted pull-up bar with wood Olympic rings. And so that's what I ended up getting 3 years ago. And that's what I still use today. And rings are a great tool. We talk about it all the time. They're cheap. You bring them in, easy to store, and to go with the pull-up bar, it's awesome. So if you see the combo in stock and you're interested, grab it.
Makes sense. Anything else to add?
No, that's it.
All right. That's going to do it.